Once upon a time, there was a kingdom ruled by a king and his queen. The queen had a strong personality and always made all decisions for the kingdom herself. When she gave birth to a handsome son, she gave him her undivided attention, choosing everything for him: how he ate, dressed, studied, and played. As the prince grew up and reached the age of marriage, the queen called him to her chambers. The prince asked what she wished to discuss, and she told him,
"You are my only son, and I've chosen everything for you throughout your life. But now that you've grown up, it's time for you to choose a bride. She must be a princess to suit your status, elegant, articulate, well-dressed, and most importantly, she must have a beautiful voice."
The queen gave the prince a list of royal castles in neighboring kingdoms, and he set off to visit them in search of the perfect princess. At the first castle, the prince met a beautiful princess who was reading a book. However, when she spoke, he didn't like the sound of her voice. At the second castle, the prince met another princess. Her father, the king, was delighted to introduce her, but she was overweight and ate greedily, showing little interest in anything else. Disappointed, the prince returned to his kingdom and told the queen he hadn't found a suitable bride. One day, while the prince sat on his castle balcony, he saw a young woman approaching. Intrigued, he went to greet her. The girl was stunningly beautiful and delicate. When the prince asked about her identity, she replied in a soft, lovely voice that she was a princess who had been traveling but had been stopped by heavy rain. She asked if she could stay in the castle until the storm passed. The prince immediately allowed her to enter. However, when she removed her coat, her dress was muddy and torn from the journey. Despite this, the prince fell in love with her and went to tell the queen he had chosen his bride. When the queen saw the girl's soiled dress, she refused, saying it was impossible for someone in such attire to be a princess, especially since she traveled without guards. But the prince insisted on marrying her. The queen decided to test the girl. She instructed the servants to prepare a room for the young woman, stacking 10 mattresses on the bed and placing a single pea under the first one. When the girl entered the room, she saw how high the bed was and asked for a ladder to climb onto it. She climbed up to rest. However, she couldn't sleep because of the pea. The next morning, the queen's maid asked how she had slept. The girl replied,
"I couldn't sleep at all. The bed was uncomfortable, and something hard underneath the mattresses kept bothering me."
The maid reported this to the queen, who immediately understood that only a princess as delicate and sensitive as this girl could feel a pea through so many layers. The queen summoned the prince and gave her blessing for their marriage. The prince, along with his guards, escorted the princess back to her kingdom, where he formally asked her father, the king, for her hand in marriage. The couple wed in a grand ceremony and lived happily ever after.